Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to Future Dimensions 360. As you guys know, in our last tutorial, we had talked about memos. What are memos? How we can use memos. So it's time to move towards references. Let me show you in today's tutorial what are refs and how we can use references in React. So let me go ahead and try to create a component. I will show you with the help of example and I will let you learn ref components with the example. I'll say ref component.js. In this component, we will be learning ReactJS references. So here is the component, and what I will do is in my normal scenario, what I want to do is I want to create an input like form input, and what I want here is I want that input to be focused by default when my page is loaded, when my web browser loaded my page. Let me go ahead and try to import this component in my app.js file refcomp. I had imported it. Let me try to create one input here inside this div. I will create an input, type text, and that's it. And what I want now is I'll show you this input in my web browser. Let me try to reload it. This is my input. What I want here is when this is, if I click, this input is now focused. What I want when I will when I will load the browser, the page in the browser, the input will be pre-focused. So first of all, what I have to do is I have to create a component refs. How I can create reference for my JSX element? I'll create rconst. Inside rconst, instead of state, what I will do is I will create this dot input ref or any name, whatever I want for this ref, and I will say react dot create ref. This is the class we have to, this is the function for React class we have to call to create reference. And here by using ref keyword inside my input, I will pass this reference to my input, this dot input ref. This is the very easy two step to create a reference and assign to a JSX element. So this is now done. As you guys see now that in our class lifecycle, we had told the first callable method is constructor, then there is another method, then the third one will be render, get derived state from props is second one, as you guys know very well. And the fourth one is component did mount. So what we will do is we will move to component did mount to make this function, make this reference or make this element as focused. Why we were not doing it before render? We are waiting for our compiler to get the reference of an input. So first constructor will render as our class lifecycle we had learned. Secondly, render will be the one who will be running. And then lastly, who will be running? Component did mount. Let's go ahead and try to do console.log, and what I will do is this dot input ref. We will try to check what is available in input ref. Let me go ahead and show you in my inspector and console. This is an object. Inside object there is another object called current, and my input JSX element is inside this current. See, I am hovering that input. You will see my browser is referencing to that input element that is available inside that current object. So this is the reference to call that one. How I can make it focus? This dot input ref dot current and dot focus. So this is the very easiest way to call your element as focused when it will be when your browser load your page. Let me try to reload the page and you guys see my input is focused. So this is very traditional way in any form. Whenever you want to load the form, you want some of the input to be focused, your first step. Your second step is to capture the input. So how you can capture the text written inside it. So how you can capture it by using refs, you have to pass a click handler to button. For example, I will say click handler handler equal to round bracket and arrow function, Inside that arrow function, I will say alert, and this alert will say this dot input ref dot current dot value. Just show me the value for that. This click handler where I will create a new button. Inside this button, I will say click me, and inside that button, I will say on click handler should get this dot click handler. So here I am passing my click handler, and this click handler, what it will do, it will call this function. This function will capture the value from the reference. Let me try to reload the page, and let me try to write future dimensions 360 here, and I'll try to click the button, and you guys can see the value inside the input reference input is captured, and you can see it in the alert. Secondly, there is another method to pass ref. That is although an old technique, normally people they are not using it, but I wish I want to show you guys this technique as well. So you should have complete knowledge about React. For example, this dot callback, this is called callback ref. This dot callback ref equals to null. How you can pass another way, that is callback ref. So I can say create a class property named cbref and pass null on it. And secondly, just create an arrow function, this dot set cbref, and just pass an arrow function that will take element as an input, which element, the DOM element or JSX element as an input, and I will say this dot cbref equals to element. Pass the element there. Now this dot cbref what we had created, pass it to some input. I will just copy paste this input again, and I will say this dot cbref will be, sorry, this dot set cbref will be the next input reference. So here what I will do in component did mount, I will just create, I don't need like here current. I will say just this dot cbref dot focus. That's it. Directly. I don't need current in the second technique. I have to reload. You can see now my second input is focus. As you guys see, the second as soon as I'm reloading, my second input is focused. So what I have to do here is I have to capture the value from the second input. How can I capture is the same thing, cbref, and that's it. This is the normal thing. Instead of other variable I'm calling, I'll call just cbref. Just try to reload it and just pass some value in this input as well, and you guys can see I had passed future dimension 360, and just I will just click me, and then you guys can see future dimension 3 is here available in alert. This is very normal and very easy how to use references in class-based components. There are two different methods available. One of them is you can use react.createRef, and the second one is you can create a class property and you can create a callback to assign the reference to the property. So I hope you guys like it. I hope you guys understand it. Please don't forget to like and subscribe our channel. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.